everybody. That's right. Welcome. That's right. Welcome to Potsquatch Growers. It is another Sunday fun day live stream show. We would have hit it right at 3, but it's like I was trying to set up, trying to go live on the Facebook and the Twitch, and I started the setup. Obviously, I don't think it's working. We're still just coming to you live on the YouTube, but we're getting closer to figuring out the technological side of all of this jazz, you know what I'm saying? Now, as we typically do, we go back and we say hi to everybody in the show. But before we go and say hi to everybody in the show, I'm going to do a little bong rip here. A little bong rip to start the show here for everybody, okay? And then we'll start saying hi to everybody, and we'll go from there. We'll smoke a little bit of that Hindu Kush that we grew on the last run there, you know what I'm saying? Some tasty weed titties, some stanky danky weed titty action. All right. Now, give me 2 seconds. I'm spilling weed everywhere. All right. That's for the homies. All right, everybody, this bong rip goes out to all of you at home, and I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday so far. There we go. Nice little bong rip just to kind of get my brain on board, you know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go back to the beginning there. I'm going to say hi to everybody. All right, what's happening? Return to the Mac. What's happening, Ganja Daddy, your mama? Welcome to the show. What's up, Texas Squatch? What's up, local grow guy? All right, what's happening? Return to the Mac. Mass Hole Growers in the house. What's good? What's up, Van Island Beauty? What's up, local grow guy? I think I'm double up and on saying hi to people. That's all right. What's up, Karen Sawchuck? All right. Let's see. Am I missing anybody so far? What's up, Alvin Mace? I hope you're doing well, buddy. Welcome to the show. All right. What's up, CSLRC Lauren? Good to see you, buddy. All right. What's up, Chris V? Good to see you. All right. 1 second here. What's up, Eugene Dolan? Hubert Barton, Pops in the house. What's happening, Pops? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here, buddy. It's good to see you. All right. What's up, James Mercer? Good to see you. How you doing? All right. What's up, Jeremiah Sanchez? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Rick DeRosa? All right. What's up, Handy F? Good to see you. What's happening to Happy Guy? Hello to you. Is the volume low? It could be. It could also be my placement of this. But if I do this, how's that? I've turned up the gain now. Is that better for you? All right. It should be, in theory. Here, we'll put this up, bend this down. Better angle there. Is that better for everybody now? You preferring that one? What's up, local girl guy? What's up, Danielle Ty? Peace and love to you. What's up, Uncut Bush? What's happening? All right. What's up, Red Claws? Good to see you, buddy. 1 second here. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, buddy. Uh-oh, that's not good, Van Island Beauty. Less is more, Less is more. It's better to, embrace that. I wish this thing would not. There we go. That's a little better. There we are. All right. No, yeah, the mic, I had to tighten the one nut on the swivel joint there, and it's seemingly doing a little bit better there. So anyway, here we are. What's up, Miss K's Garden? What's up, who's your squatch? All right, everybody. So it's Sunday. It's fun day. We got it going. Everything's going really, really well here at Potsquatch Growers. As you can tell, we are currently, obviously, on the set in the studio. We're not doing it from the cell phone. We're trying to endeavor to start using Streamlabs for all of our stuff, and today was hopefully going to be the first day where we went live on YouTube. It was going to be the first day we went live as well at the same time on Facebook and Twitch. I've yet to figure out the Instagram plugin, but obviously I'm missing a step here. So I'm going to figure that out by, hopefully Wednesday's show. But hey, at the end of the day, we are getting it going. We're getting it going, you know what I'm saying? And we're figuring out all these wonderful new age technological things, One thing I'll share before we get into anything here as well, you know what I'm saying, is I'd like to share right? I thought it was good, Jeremiah Sanchez. Not everybody agrees with my take on that one, but I wanted to share something with everybody because at the end of the day, here, wait. Now, this thing's going like this. There we go. That's better. If I stand here, it should be okay. I want to share something into the chat for everybody. And it's funny because at the last show, we were just talking about how, like, oh, no, TikTok is owned by the CCP. And I was going off about that. And it's true, you know. But at the end of the day, if the Chinese government wants to spy on my sense of humor, I guess that's okay, right? So we do have a Potsquatch Growers TikTok. Originally, I was going to be doing, like, plant videos and stuff on that. But the Chinese, man, you know, they get mad about us showing weed titties, you know. So we can't show no weed titties on TikTok, which is all right, I guess. What it has become now is more so of an outlet for my own comedic sense of humor. We are people who are cannabis enthusiasts. We are people who enjoy to laugh. We like to get high and watch funny shit. I mean, you may not think what I'm about to show you is funny, but I personally find it extremely funny. So I'm going to first lift. Some of you may have already seen these, by the way, but that's okay. So this is the first one. It's doing all right. Currently, it's got almost 1,600 views in about 24 hours, so that's pretty good. Copy link. There we go. So this is the first ever TikTok that I made that did not get deleted off of TikTok, because all the first videos I was making was with weed in it, right? And then, you know, the Chinese government get mad at Uncle Potsquatch for showing what he does, right? So then Uncle Potsquatch is countered by saying, well, fine, just enjoy my sense of humor then. All right, so I'm going to share this link there. Obviously, you know, you may leave the show to watch it this second, and you know, or you could just like copy and paste it or something, I guess. I don't know, and watch it later. But there we go. I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm going to double check this link after I've shared it, just to make sure I'm going to the right place with it. You can play on this app. Yep, so that's the right one. And then I'm going to share the second one here as well, everybody. The other one I also personally, humbly find quite funny. It's just stupid little videos that I make that I find amusing, and it's something that you can watch for fun, you know, when you're all baked and shit. And so here's the second one here. I'm going to share that, and then we'll get into the show and all that jazz. So paste. There we go. Second one. Okay. I'm going to double check this one as well to make sure it is taking you to the right video. I'm almost done. Yep. These are the two videos that I've released on TikTok. Okay. So at the end of the day, you know, they're funny. I mean, they're what I find whimsical anyway, and me playing around. And so, you know, much more to come in terms of all of that. So, you know, get used to that. You know, Uncle Potsquatch is going to be playing around. I'm going to put this chair up a little bit. There we go. Now we'll be on slightly better vector with the, well, now that's two half of the frame. There we go. That's good. But, you know, hey, it'll show you into the mind of the Uncle Potsquatch there if you ever want to see some of my sense of humor there. All right, so let's pull it back up the chat there. What can we share about things that have been going so far with the week of our plants? You know, we're a number of days in since the transplant. So I would say, you know, there were definitely some stress action going on there after the transplant. So we had it for about a day and a half, and you know, I hadn't installed the AC yet, right? Because I was like, oh, bloody hell, you know, the AC. So first, I plugged all the heat vents. So I plugged the heat vent blowing out into there because it was really, like, even when it was closed, it was blowing out hella air. So I plugged that one. I've also plugged the heat vent going into sort of the, you know, living room here, you know what I'm saying? And that is, you know, obviously the ambient heat on this side of the wall as well. So we're kind of like the one side wall, that side wall. Now there's not like this huge heat source on any sides of the wall. Obviously there's still the furnace on that other side, but you know, I can't turn that off. So we've done what we can. So that's really helped. I installed the AC. So when I went in on the morning of, day 2 morning, because of how hot it was, because of that hot air drying out the flowering room, the plants were a little thirsty, a little droopy, and they were stressed out. And it was also like 36, 37 degrees Celsius in there. So I was like, oh man, okay, we got to do something about this. So we plugged the heat vent, dealt with that. We installed AC. It's beautiful now. We've got that. It's more than capable of maintaining. It's only got 3 light rigs on in there, so it's doing for just fine, and we're maintaining now. I've been kind of playing with seeing their happy spot, whether, you know, between 21 to 26 degrees. Given some of the genetics do come from hotter climates in terms of their origin story, I've been playing more so on the higher side of 21. So, you know, we're at like kind of a 23 to 26 degrees Celsius range. And the plants definitely seem to be doing much better with that change. Now, I wanted to give them a dose of silica, so I probably went a little overhanded. That's what my kind of end result is. Because typically for years, what I've done in terms of introducing a cheap way of introducing silica is you take a little bit of diatomaceous earth, you put it in your water, and you water it down. Less is more. A little dab will do you. But I really wanted to go a heavy shot. Plus, I had never gone super heavy, so I was kind of curious to see what would happen. Always experimenting, always learning. So I'll put, a heaping tablespoon. AKA, what do I mean by heap? It's probably closer to 2 actual tablespoons into roughly a liter of water. And I dumped it right into these small pots. And since the pots are smaller too, I actually almost think I kind of choked out some of that initial root ball there from the transplant. So it was kind of like instantly within 24 hours, the plants were a little bit sadder. I was like, oh no, like I'm stressing them out. And then they were getting hungry. So what I did is I went through and I did a huge heavy feed, really concentrating on that initial root ball that would have been at the transplant site, okay? And kind of flushing out, because I was like, I probably am choking out these roots a bit. The silica's, searching out to these young nubile roots and choking it out. So then I flushed that out, and I gave them a big feed, and now they're much happier. They're doing a lot better now, which is great to see, and I'm very, very happy about that. But that's kind of what my week's been, really. We did a top. We've got the plants bouncing back finally now after our weird experiments. We topped them once, and I didn't really top any of the other branches. I just did like a singular top at the top at the top. We're still shooting to hopefully flip at 1 week since transplant. Worst case scenario, 1 more week, or maybe even just a few days. I'm playing around with it because basically I want to get these plants to a certain point where I'm feeling good about them, and I'm already, I'm way de-stressed now. Like I was super stressing, when I saw what was happening with these plants, and I'm like, oh no, man, you dick, you already gave them a hard life with the photo stress tests, and then you went and suffocated them out with diatomaceous earth, you idiot. But again, like I said, always experimenting, right? I mean, using that DE trick, I've been doing that forever, but I've never done it to the level that I did. And I was curious. And well, hey, too much of a good thing is still a bad thing, right? So, and we have proven that by doing that. But yeah, 1 second here, everybody. I'm going to see what I've missed here. Oh yeah, like Hubert, and the snow was crazy here too. Like Hope doesn't really get snow like this. We even recently, like a week or two ago, broke a new temperature record here. It went down to minus 30 Celsius here in Hope. And it's only gone to minus 24.4 Celsius here in like literally all of recorded history. So it's been a crazy time. Outside right now, there's giant mountains of snow everywhere. If you go outside of our grow, it is a winter wonderland. I love how I'm the only crazy cocksucker who's probably running AC in this whole town, except for the other growers, right? But hey, it is what it is. And when the new growth space is underground, I mean, you got to find a way to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so here, let me get up. What's up, Dr. Potness? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. Monorail, I mean, I can go stand out in the snow in my bare feet for at least 5 or 6 minutes and have a smoke or something. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, it was something that I thought would be funny, so we made that video. I also want everybody to know we will have a third video coming out tomorrow, kind of tomorrow morning, earlier afternoon. On the TikTok. I've come up with another idea. I've come up with something else that I find funny, and I think you will all enjoy it as well. So that'll be the third video for TikTok coming out. So, get stoned, go over to TikTok, and check that out. 1 second here, everybody. One second. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any important messages here. All right. Ooh, I hate when that happens, Reverend Veritas. Well, here's hoping that they make it through, my friend. No, so Chris V, I run a closed, controlled climate. I do not bring exterior air into my grow. Where I live, even in winter, and then it's because it's going to thaw out. There's rampant PM spores here. There's rampant issues of huge high levels of moisture. So I would never pull exterior air in the Fraser Valley into a grow space. If you're going to do that, one, you need to be running it through a system of HEPA filters to be removing any issues from it, as well as you're going to need to address the relative humidity of that air. So you're going to have a sub room that you're going to be drawing from, and so pull from outside into a sub room, use that room, mitigate that there with tech in it, and then pull it back into your space. Then I mean, I could do that, but that's more work. I don't give a shit. I'm used to spending a lot of money on my grows. Power ain't cheap. And guess what? I've been doing this for over 20 years. There's one thing I've come to accept is that I spend a lot of money on power. It's just one of those things. Some people choose to spend their money on other things. Fancy cars and fancy, wonderful jewelry and other things like that. And I don't typically do that as much. I pay a hefty hydro bill, and that's part of my fun. And at the end of the day, I mean, if I wasn't pulling the power that I was through the house, we wouldn't be able to bring all the stuff that we do on YouTube, and soon to be on all these other media platforms for everybody. By the way, we have a Twitch now. Check it out. Nothing's on it yet. I was hoping we would go live on Twitch today too, but I haven't quite got it there. I've got it like half set up, I guess, on Streamlabs. We're going to be going live there. We're going to be going live on Instagram and Facebook at all times now, once I figure out how to make all the stupid pieces communicate. But, we're stepping up our game in that regard and our presence on things. One thing that means is we're going to have a lot of new people come into our community because we're going to be going on live on these new platforms. It's going to be really sweet. Get excited for that. New Potsquatches come to join all of us that love wee titties, right? It'll be a good time. 1 second here, everybody. I'm just reading. Yeah, like 705 grower, you're not wrong. Like, I can comfortably go out wearing shorts in minus 25 and wear them out all day. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm still, I still got a toque on. I've still got a coat on. May not be the heaviest coat. Like, I wear still fairly thin coats when I go out in winter. But unless it's super windy, you don't really need much. I mean, at least for me personally as a Canadian. Uncut Bush. The light stress typically it's the number one revealer of watching genetic personalities. And then by stress triggering the plants early with this high photo periods, what I'm also able to observe is while under duress or under stress, how is it going to be doing its nodal spacing? How is it going to be forming its leaves? What is it exactly going to be doing structurally for me as plants? Right? So, yeah, basically we found the strong and we found the medium strengths, and then we found the slightly, weaker ones. So really at the end of the day, we know what to expect. Also, too, with seeing the different sizes of the plants, it kind of gives me some foresight on the tables that when we do go into flower, who's going to go big and huge, and how are we going to tie things down? How are we going to, train them out to allow, not one of those plants, it shouldn't, be choking out the other plants and overwhelming them, right? So, yeah. So, it did what it's supposed to do, right? And at the end of the day, if they die, they die. Nothing's died yet. So that's good. And obviously we've stopped stressing them out. I inadvertently stressed them out with my super dose of DE the other day because I wanted to see what would happen. I stressed them out with the high temperatures inadvertently because I didn't really register how hot it was getting in there. But we fixed that, We've also addressed the generalized relative humidity of the space in terms of at least we are not super drying it out by having the dry air of that furnace pumping into the flowering room. So that was pretty good too. So I'm stoked. They're now at a place where they're going to be sexy and be playing. Eugene Dolan, there's so many platforms out there. You are correct on that. But we as Canada content creators, we as cannabis enthusiasts in terms of YouTube and social media, we need to evolve with the times as well. Like a lot of Canadian and other American content creators that do cannabis-related content on YouTube, many of them have left the platform. Like they've left their channels, but they're not really doing as much there. Some of them are moving over to Twitch and other places. And I'm a stubborn prick. I'm going to stay on YouTube and fight YouTube till the day I die. We have a right to be here. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, in my humble 2 cents, as Canada content creators on YouTube. I think we're doing a lot of really good, actually, in the world with what we do. So we have a right to be on the platform. So I'm not going to back down on that. But I'm also not going to resist forcing myself to try to learn these new platforms. So that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on trying to learn how to integrate Twitch and everything in through the Streamlabs. I'm going to get a powered hub for the secondary camera, so we are going to bring back some form of crop cam again. It will not be the robotic zoom in, zoom out one that we had. That camera's a little expensive to get. That one I think is going to be like $600 or $700. But we do have cameras on site that we can at least use to show the room. And eventually, yeah, I'd like to get another robot cam in there for everybody that I can sit here and zoom in and out from the studio. But we're working on it. We're stepping up the show. We're stepping up the content. We're stepping up the grows, and then also stepping up our social media presence. So that's something I'm very excited about. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm having fun with this silly little TikTok. I know I've made fun of it. And I'll tell you the real point of TikTok. It's pretty stupid. Like, it's just like tiny little blurps of shit we find entertaining for very brief moments and glimpses. That's all it is. But it's fun. Like, it's actually kind of fun, actually. And the thing I like about TikTok is they let me use music to stuff. So if I have an idea of like, oh, if I did this on camera to this song, this would look very funny. It gives me a place to do that. And I mean, a lot of you, tune into the show. You enjoy my sense of humor, enjoy how I see things and stuff like that. Well, guess what? There's going to be a lot of jokes coming at you. So it's something, you come over here, learn how to grow the weed, and you smoke the weed, and you go over there and you can check it out and have a laugh. You know what I'm saying? It'll be good times. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's the thing, Timmer. It's not, well, one, we as cannabis content creators, I think, when we take it seriously and we make it our life, we have a right to make some money off of doing it. It takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work to do it. I resisted monetizing anything for a very long time. I resisted donations from people, but I'm slowly shifting gears a little bit on that. My content will always be free. I'm never going to make anyone pay for my how-to videos, my grow journals, my live stream shows, or anything I release on the internet. I will never make you pay for that. Whatever weirdness comes out of my brain on the internet is open source. It's free. However, if there are these ways where I can start generating a bit of money as well to help keep the lights on, so I'm less stressed in terms of paying my mortgage and covering all the bases of everything, and then we can buy new toys, we can expand, and then I can grow our company and our product lines that we're releasing, I mean, I'm not going to say no to that, I've struggled with that for a very long time, but here we are, here we be, and I say, let's go for it. Monorail is Soul Price here. Maybe Ganjanana. Ganjanana, do you have that link, or is it just a Soul Price one or Soul Price that has that one? One second here, everybody. I'm just reading. Oh, exactly, 705 grower. And I mean, and you're touching on genetics as well, and that's one of the things where I really struggle with certain things in the industry, right? Like, part of why we release lights is I struggle with watching either cheap crap being sold for too much that is not reliable, or stuff that is reliable having the prices gouged hugely on them. And how is anyone ever able to get into anything, right? So anything I do in terms of the industry, I'm trying to change something I have an issue with. Why is our CBD line coming out? Well, I'm releasing a CBD line that is the best of the best CBD in all the land, okay? It's not chock full of fillers. High quality products, okay? And I'm making them affordable. If you look at some of our competitors, I actually had a CBD company the other day reach out to our channel, and they wanted to sponsor us, and they wanted to do that. And obviously, I'm not going to be sponsored by a CBD brand when I am a CBD brand that's launching a whole new line. But it was quite funny because I went, oh, thank you very much, Roman Reckless. I went to their, thank you very much, Roman, very much. I appreciate that. I went to their page, and I'm looking at what they're charging for stuff, right? Like, they're fucking charging a bajillion, quadrillion dollars for CBD products. And I'm sitting here going like, these don't make no sense. If you cannot afford the medicine, then it's just teasing you. It cannot help you in any way live a better quality of life. So therefore, what are we doing? Oh no! Hence, that's what's behind us launching the CBD line. We launched lights in response to the industry. We're launching CBD in response to the industry. We are eventually launching the genetics brand in response to the fact that, one, genetics aren't properly done by almost anyone anymore. Everything's feminized, and it shouldn't be. Plus, seeds or genetics cost far too much. So bringing back heirloom genetics, bringing back reliable, stable, and affordable genetics. I mean, that's kind of the next concept in our brains on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what we're working on in everything we do as a company, as a channel, as a brand, you know. Yeah. So anyway, that's my little rant on that. Welcome, Patty Cakes, to the Discord server. I just saw you join us. I'm going to also put my phone on Do Not Disturb here so we don't get any weird sounds coming through from the ringer or anything. 1 second here. I'm just reading everybody. That's all right, Texas Squatch. We'll help you learn. Hey, Texas Squatch, don't feel bad about that. I'm still just learning a lot of this computer stuff as well. Not on this show, because we do not have a mobile camera set up on this one right now. So right now, as I was sharing at the beginning of the episode, Loki, we do have like a powered USB extension hub thing coming, so I can plug in a second camera and have a second camera wired in the room at all times, and then show you. But since we're doing it at the studio here using, you know, our studio setup, I don't currently have that set up. But we will have that set up. It will be hopefully here in the next week. Sometimes shipping takes a little bit longer to where we live in Hope, as well as the fact of the matter is there's a crap ton of snow, freezing rain, and dire road conditions. So like, for example, if you go to the, you know, some of the grocery stores right now, the Save-On's not too bad, but if you go to the Bilo grocers, like their shelves are bare because they have not been able to get any of their supply trucks easily in because of the roads and this or that, and there's been a lot of accidents. And oh, hey, thank you very much, Return of the Mac, yo. Thank you very much. Holy my goodness crapness. I even forgot the name of that level because, like, I don't know. No one ever really did it. It was just something I was just playing around with when we set that up. Well, thank you very much, Return of the Mac. I truly do appreciate it. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, bare grocery stores. So anyway, long story short, here's hoping the powered external USB hub for us powering the secondary camera gets here in roughly the next week. And so then I'll be able to have that set up as well, and have a camera in there. So then I can be like, all right, children, let's show you the plants now. And then I can click a button or do whatever I do on the computer. I'm still learning that, you know, switch to the other programmed scene or whatever. And then boom, you know, we'll be in the lab. And we'll be able to talk about it. We'll have it as like a big picture, and I'll be a tiny one in the window, and be like, see there, everyone, you know. So that is something that is coming as well. So I do apologize that we do not have that ability currently today, but we is working on it, man. I tell you. It is funny, everyone. Texas Squatch like, oh man, I was about to call him Disturb. It's true. Texas Squatch has this funny habit of occasionally not realizing I'm online and they start calling my ass. I've done it to him too when he's gone live in the Facebook group as well. So I mean, hey, it's you know, it makes sense. Oh, here we go. Oh, thank you very much, Eugene Dolan. I really truly appreciate that, my friend. It really helps everybody. Every little bit counts, you know, and I really do appreciate it. And it's taken me years to be able to. I still feel very weird about it, but I'm humbly appreciative. So thank you. What the hell? There was a question. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Any suggestions to the ice bath? I'm on week 8 of flower. Okay, so James Mercer, yes, I do have suggestions on it. If you're someone who's wanting to do that ice bath, I say go for it. I don't do the ice bath personally, but again, as everybody knows, I'm not afraid of spending a lot of money on power. And so I just crank my ACs. I crank my ACs down hard, you know? But ice bath can be very effective. It'll shock your root ball, which is actually going to translate up into the plant as well. You know, it's not quite as good as chilling the flower from the room that way. But again, it's a vastly more cost-effective way of doing it. And it is certainly doable. When I do an ice bath, I mean, you can do it throughout the last week. But really, I find the ice bath, if we're going the ice bath route, you know, we flush. I like to do a darkness period. My perfect happy place in a darkness period that I find the most effective in terms of the state it takes things to, in terms of the changes happening, in terms of utilizing all those last sugars into resins, as well as adjusting and tempering some of the terpenes, and the terpenes are chemically changing a little bit there, is 48 hours, right? That's my happy place for all of that. So I would probably do a giant ice bath the second I turn the lights out. right as I go into that darkness period. So dump them full of ice day one, go back in tomorrow. If you know, hell, put some more ice in there. The only thing to be mindful of, I would say, would be watching for the relative humidity potential spike in the room, which then could in fact lead to issues, bud rot, PM, you know, lots of different things. But what I would say is, as long as your relative humidity is okay, then you're not too bad. You don't got to worry about that. And yeah, that'd be my 2 cents on that. One thing I might suggest as well before going into that ice bath is either using some carbonated water, or hell, even using a little H2O2, like 3% solution to your water, just to oxygenate there with H2O2 your soil, which is going to help protect the roots from potential, you know, issues. Now, it's only a 48-hour period, so you should be fine. Okay, it's not going to destroy anything in 48 hours, really. But if you want to be careful, what you can do is kind of go do that and do an H2O2 treatment on that one, and that will help. I hope that helps. That's my humble 2 cents. That's my humble 2 cents on the ice bath thing. Yeah, right, 705 grower. I mean, that happens out here a lot too, right? Like, there's some serious supply chain issues combined with road stuff, and then lack of truck drivers as well. It's a thing. What's that here, everybody? I'm just thinking and reading. Hell yeah, Van Allen Beauty. I love it. Sounds good. What's up, Fully Auto TV? Fully Auto, the Big Squatch. I actually trying to remember what is the driver we have on the Big Squatch now, off the top of my head, because I actually always just bring in doubles, which is 2 Big Squatches. Give me 2 seconds. I'll actually because I just got to double check the driver on it, because I think I remember the right driver for that one, and then I can tell you. Bear with me. Boop. Go. Just pulling up the website on my cellular phone, everyone. All right. There we go. Big Squatch. And then we're going to go down. And I need to see the driver. Bear with me, everybody. Okay, so I believe it's the 150 meanwhile running that. And so the 150 meanwhile can actually go above 150, obviously. It's more of a marketing gimmick. So I'm just trying to, bloody hell. Bear with me, everybody. As you can tell, I go on our website a lot. Yeah. Anyway. Well, I'm like 98% sure it's most certainly the 150 watt Meanwell running that one, which I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, goes up to roughly 250 to 300 at full maximum voltage at the wall. For example, the Double Squatch is powered by the 480H, and that at full power consumption at the wall with the design is about 605 watts at the wall. Okay, so yeah, it's roughly that, you know what I'm saying? All right, and we're pulling back up the show in here. All right. What did I miss? Oh, no, and I feel you, Timmer. And I mean, you know, I think Timmer really, in a sense, you know, okay, I'm going to read Timmer's comment for everybody, too, so that you know what I'm responding to. Timmer says, I'm all for donating to serious creators. The problem is entry-level growers demanding sponsors and vid monetization with no experience. You know, and I would say there's a problem at any time when any creator is demanding anything. You know, for example, we currently have 0 sponsors at this channel. There are actually a couple of people who've reached out to me recently from certain companies, and they want to maybe do paid advertisement, and I'm waiting to see what products they're wanting to maybe advertise, and then I'm going to do my R&D on them, back end research, and check them out. And if I think they're doing good work in the industry, and if they're not releasing products I have an intent to release, then there's no issue there. For me personally as a content creator, and I don't mind doing that because if it helps us keep the lights on, then that's bloody great, because power's not cheap, as we've covered. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think though, getting into, at least for me and the way I look at it, getting into YouTube or content creation in terms of cannabis, especially when it's an exploratory piece, it's a grow journal, it's sharing what you're doing, it's also meant to be an educational tool, build community and build each other up. I think that you can never have your primary goal as I'm doing this to become my income. I'm doing this as my job. It's always a job, but, it takes time to get to a place where you're even generating a little bit of stuff. And you got to kind of get creative too. Like, I mean, you don't really make anything from YouTube unless you're getting like bajillions of views. Like, in cannabis content creators, like, we're so limited by the algorithm and we don't get the views. Plus, to begin with, we're a much smaller community in terms of YouTube than any other real kind of audience base would be. It's a very different reality in terms of basic numbers. I would say if someone's coming in with a new show, and they may not know much, but if they've got a huge audience and people are tuning in to watch, I mean, yeah, hell. I mean, if I was someone looking to put content or paid for sponsorships to something, yeah, that would make sense because it's a basic view numbers game. I mean, it's just basic advertising, right? However, demanding things and coming on to it, to me, sends the wrong message. It also shows where you're really at in terms of things. And so, like, for me personally, I didn't start this to really actually, I didn't think anybody would watch, to be honest with you. I didn't think we'd become a lighting brand or a CBD brand to become this global thing. I didn't think that, like I said, I'll go back. I don't think anybody would bloody watch. I kind of made the joke like, well, wife, I'm going to do this because, one day there's going to be some aliens. They're going to come down to Earth and they're going to find some cannabis seeds and they're going to be like, well, what the heck are these? And then somehow weird reason they're going to find my videos and I'm going to teach some aliens to grow pot and they will appreciate it. That was kind of where my mindset was initially with creating the show and building our content and doing that. It has evolved into a job. It has evolved to an actual corporation. It has evolved into an international corporation that's slowly but surely growing. And we have some pretty big goals of where we want to go. If we can achieve some of those goals, this has built itself over many, many years into something that will employ people. It'll be bringing jobs into communities and a bunch of stuff. I mean, so that's very exciting to me. I love the idea of that. That makes me very happy and honored to be doing what I'm doing. But that didn't happen overnight. It took time, and it kind of organically evolved. Like I said, I originally started this thinking none of y'all would show up. But yet, here you are. Hello. Oh, thank you very much, Bluegrass Growers. I really appreciate that. Plus, really cool little, is that a GIF? Is that what you call it? Or is it like a movable emoticon? Whatever the little dancing, I don't know. Is it a ninja dog or something? Japanese ninja dog? Is that one of those Shiba Japanese or something dogs? I don't know. Anyway, it's very cute. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And it's evolved to that, right? And I think the number one thing, other than sharing your story and helping people and building the community, I mean, for any content creator, regardless of what you're doing, even if it's not cannabis related, have fun with it. Have some goddamn fun. Get out there, get playing, be sexy, have a good time, enjoy yourself. That's the whole point of this, baby. It's like we got to have a good time with it. Because if you're fake, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, if their passion isn't there, if it's flat or sugar-coated and false, people pick up on that. And I think there's a huge craving in terms of the world of content creation is people want real shit. They don't want fake or what you think they want to see. They want genuine content created because you enjoy what you've created and what you're doing. And if others out there like it too, then they will show up and they'll view it, right? Like, I mean, yeah. Does that make sense? I know I went on a long-winded tangent on that one, and I apologize, but, you triggered something on my brain there. 1 second here. I'm playing catch-up. Bloody hell. I've missed a bunch of messages. Bear with me, everybody. I'm scrolling backwards. Holy crap, what's going on here today? Thank you very much, Chris V. Wow, I think this is like the most this has ever happened before ever, actually. Kind of tripping me out. I'm like, oh no, did I click a button? Why does this sound keep happening? It's freaking me out. Thank you very much, everyone, though. I do appreciate it. I get more and more bashful as this is going on, though, but yeah. Yes, Gregory Allen Reed. I can definitely recommend that. Actually, we will be making all of our CBD line products available in Canada. Realistically, I'm always worried about sugar consumption, so where gummies are great for the day-to-day and occasional dosage, if we're talking a regular dosage for CBD products, using any form of an MCT oil CBD tincture, broad spectrum is going to do it best. There will be 0 THC in that, which is exactly what our tincture is. When the website launches at the end of the year, or end of the month. My God, if I make you wait till next year, it just was the start of this year. That would be horrible. That will all be available both in Canada, throughout Europe, everywhere. We're opening it up to everybody, and we're pretty sure we can easily do that. So, we're moving it ahead. So that would be my recommendation to her. Canadian CBD producers, I do not trust. And plus, it's going to cost like $1 bajillion more to get. So, yeah. Good old government, right? All right, give me a second here. I'm just trying to really quickly play catch up, though. Van Island Beauty, I would not recommend using ISO ever on a plant. That freaks me out. I wouldn't do that. We can talk recipes later in terms of ways to help that. 1 second. Yes. And to build on of Buds and Hazard, yeah. So Greg, ours is CBD, CBDA, CBG, CBN, CBC, CBV. It's totally broad spectrum. It's got all the good shit in there. So it's a very well blended, non-THC product that should, in fact, if they can't take THC, I mean, it's going to be the best thing we can get for them. Other than that, if they weren't opposed to THC, I'd say, hey, take a little bit of THC with this, and that'll be great. But yeah. Bear with me here, everybody. I'm trying really hard to play catch up here. What's that thing now? It's like a really fast hippopotamus. That's fucking fun. I like that. Hey, thank you very much, Alvin Mace. I really appreciate your kind words, everybody. And I think that's probably been do I use herb vaporizers? I don't currently own one in the moment. I'm not a huge fan of handheld units. Do I think that it's impossible to build a handheld unit that works well? I don't think it's impossible. Have I met one on market that I think is good? No. I've met ones that are decent enough, but I wouldn't personally waste my money on them. But I'm typically more of a fan of tabletop vaporizers if I were to use one. I like my Evolve Plus little vaporizer for like wax and stuff. But in terms of a flower handheld, no, there isn't one that's out there that I really like. Not saying there can't be one. Maybe there is even one now. I just personally haven't met it yet. But if I was going to go to a vaporizer, I would go with a Volcano. What's up, That Guy Channel 2? Hey, what's up, Brandon Rothman? Oh, the prodigal son from before. Yeah, so I'm assuming you mean the old name. Yeah, I remember you. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Bear with me, everybody. I'm just playing catch-up here. Hey, you know what? Fully auto TV, it is totally doable with a photo period and with the right SAT. You could definitely do that. You're going to need to build your system to be able to handle that, but it is doable. If I can grow 6 to 10 foot plants in pots inside, no reason you can't do that there too. You just got to be careful. So potsquatchsales.com right now does not currently work. So if you click it, you're going to go like, why is this not working? Or if you go to potsquatchgrowers.com as well, you're like, what? This isn't working. It will all work eventually. We are right now building a whole brand new website. It's going to be launching, like I said, at the end of the month. And you're going to be able to get everything there, from your swag to your CBD products, etc., etc., etc. I have not tried the Mite Vaporizer. However, I will say the only company that has ever produced a product that I love is the Volcano Vaporizers. So whatever the name of the company that built the Volcano is, like, I'm already on board. I've been using them. They were basically the first real vaporizer that came out on market back in the hood days. And I love Volcanos. I think they're amazing. I'm not wild on spending $1 bajillion on them when I could just, pick up a pack of rolling papers and get high that way. But let's be honest. Toys are fun when you can afford them. And I love the Volcano products. So, hey, if there was one company that was going to be able to make a handheld that was probably pretty good, I would not be shocked if it was them. What am I? Okay, 1 second here. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anyone's important messages. And if I do miss your message, just keep asking the same question. I won't get mad. Nobody will get mad at you. I do my best to read everything, but right, Eddie Evans. That's been similarly my experience with hand units on those types of things. So, well, who's your Squatch? I am humbly honored to hear that. Everyone, who's your Squatch's messages? No BS. I learned everything I know from you and my own experience. I appreciate you. And hey, I am honored to have helped Who's Your Squatch. I myself was a self-taught grower growing up and reading because really back then there wasn't really like a YouTube. There was a bit, but it's like, I couldn't go on YouTube and learn things. When I was a young kid first getting into growing, there wasn't really any of that. I had my occasional copy of High Times if I could get my hands on one. They weren't commonly carried at a lot of places. Some places had some books on the topics or just really reading, generalized horticulture books and all of that, and botany and trial and error and experimentation growing up. That was kind of how I got my start on this stuff. And, trial and error and screwing around is the best way to learn anything. You know what I mean? Always learning. The true grower's a forever student, and just keep playing with it. You know what I'm saying? But I am humbly honored that I was able to help, and I hope, you love growing to weed titties, because I know I do, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's like adult arts and crafts, and it's a lot of things. What's up, Christopher Thomas? Good to see you, my friend. 1 second here, everybody. Oh, no worries, Brandon. It's all good, baby. All good. The Mighty. Okay, well, I'll have to check it out, Jeff. I'll have to check it out. Israel Wells, it's great to see you as well, my friend. Welcome to the show. I hope you're doing well. Right? Rotten Soul, on a good vape, yeah, you're totally having sort of this beautiful, beautiful profile on the terpenes and flavonoids for sure. But yeah, something to be said for just smoking a fatty, I hope you're well too, Damien. 1 second here, everybody. I've almost caught up. Okay, I'm back. Yes, and I would agree with you 100%. Return to the Mac. Growing and cultivating plants in general is such a healing experience. It is this holistic, therapeutic experience. It's I don't know. It's just there's like a magic to it, really. It doesn't matter what you're going through, but to take care of a crop, rear a crop, learn about the crop, play with the crop, nothing but the crop. It's great. And then, I remember those first few times as a new grower when I was really, truly successful in bringing down something that I was really blown away by. And I was like, oh my God, did I make that? Oh boy. Right. And that was one of the coolest experiences ever. It was amazing, and it's just such a fun, beautiful experience to go through, going I made this amazing product. And then it makes you hungry for the next one. Well, what would happen if I do this next time, or do this next time, or do that next time? And it's part of the love of it. You know what I mean? It can be stressful too. I'm not gonna lie to you. With the stress and the issues I've been dealing with the last few days, even though I was pretty sure I knew exactly what was going on, and in the end I was right, it doesn't make it any less stressful when you make adjustments and wait for the plant to exhibit the response. Even when you know you're right, you still get a little freaked out. What's up, Roman? in Return of the Mac, nothing wrong with that first time run. I mean, even to this day, am just such a weed nerd. I spend so much time talking about it. It's one of my favorite things to bring up. And, it was funny. I remember the first time, this was a number of years ago, before I realized there was Facebook groups and stuff where you could go talk about weed stuff to people and have other weed friends online and stuff and talk about growing. I was always talking to my wife about it. Miss Potsquatch, like, babe, I love you, but I don't give a fuck. I cannot handle you saying anything more about plants or this or that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, why don't you just go join a Facebook group or something? I was like, they got groups for that? She's like, I mean, I would assume so. They've got Facebook groups for everything. Why don't you go on Facebook and join a group? And I did. I mean, I joined a couple of groups to start, and then, it was quite funny, really. So, hey, thank you very much, Eddie Evans. I really appreciate that, my friend. Really do. Thank you. And it's funny, though, right? Like, and, it's like, so, but that's part of why, like, I really love what we've built here at Potsquatch Growers as well. And we have our own Facebook group now. It's called the Potsquatch Growers community. Anyone is welcome there, by the way. If you're new here or have never come and checked out the Facebook group, you are welcome there, okay? Answer the goddamn questions, please. It's a liability. It makes our lives so much easier because if you answer the questions, then we can just let you in and then you can come to the pot and hang out with everybody, okay? But, we've created this space where, we can all hang out. We can all chat about stuff. We can all share and play, etc., 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 and it's really, really beneficial, I think, especially for the newer growers, too. And, I mean, what we've created is a safe place that, like, for newer growers, you don't need to be scared about asking questions. If anyone is ever a bully to you in the community, I will personally give them a talking to privately, and I will not be impressed. And to be fair, I don't think we've ever really had an issue with that. I think this is the first group I've ever witnessed on Facebook, actually, where there's a zero tolerance policy that's actually enforced on that, right? There's been times where people have argued. There has been times, maybe once or twice, where someone was a dink. But I will say there are people that were once in the group that are no longer in the group. And to be fair, I can count between my two hands the amount of people over a number of years that we've had to actually sort of say, I'm sorry, we really need you to leave, and we're not okay with you being here. So that is just such a beautiful thing too, if you think about it statistically. Like, I mean, very few dinks have ever actually come over to the group, so that's great. So check it out, everybody. It's called the Potsquatch Growers community on Facebook. If Ganja Nana at one point, I think, had the link to the group, but I don't know if she still does, or maybe it was someone else who had the link. Anyway, if you search the Potsquatch Growers community on Facebook, you can find the group, my friends. I swear. Also, too, just for the heck of it, since there are people here that are probably just joining into the show, I'm going to share, again, the links to my two little TikToks there. There's one. If you need a laugh, everybody, go check these out. We will actually be launching another TikTok video tomorrow for everybody to check out. It is just my weird, twisted sense of humor, playing around with stuff and having fun. And whatever occurs to me, I make a little short about it, which is kind of fun anyway. So, smoke a doobie. Go watch my dumbass do silly things. And good. So that was the right one. And then here, I got to share the other second one. I released both of these the other day. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? May have been the day before. I can't remember. I think it was the day before. And this one, and share. I'm just going to double check to make sure this is the right one. Yep. All right. I think I've shared it both the videos correctly, and we are good to go. Oop, there we go. Now we're back in the show there. Jonathan St. Laurent says, your beard is getting more powerful. Well, thank you. It's actually really a lot longer than it looks right now, too. It's just such a curly beard. So if I use my beard straightener on it, it starts going a lot longer. But it's quite curly today, and I didn't really brush it out before the show. But it's actually longer than it looks. It's just a little curly right now. It's too warm. It's got to get cold. I don't know. But thank you very much. I don't have much up here, and what is up here is more and more migrating down onto the rest of me. So it's like, hey, at least I can grow hair in other places. Okay, 1 second here, everybody. I am just reading. We love you too, Michael Hooten. Just reading. Bear with me. I mean, at the end of the day, Isaac Kendrick. I mean, that's one of the things that I've jokingly said that I'd love to bring to market one day. I also think, though, that it would be a very dangerous product for those not used to both drinking and smoking. So that's where I would have a little trepidation, maybe, on bringing that one to market. Maybe I'll bring a CBD beer out. That might be safer in terms of liability. But we could make maybe an infused pack, dump this in your beer and it'll get you high too. I mean, maybe we could do that. And then it's like an adult use it your own thing, and if you choose to dump that into your beer, then then that's on you. You can't sue my ass. So. All right, let's read here. Bear with me, everybody. I'm just reading. Isaac Kendrick, you're not wrong. They could definitely work, and it's definitely doable. I don't think it would be undoable for sure. And hops and cannabis are cousins of each other. And they do have, some plants at least have similar smell and taste profiles. So it's doable. I just, the liability though, that makes me a little nervous. Just because, last thing I need to do is someone who's not used to consuming both at the same time. Back in high school, we would call it getting crunk, And, yeah, I don't know. Hell yeah, this old stoner. How you doing, my friend? Man, my funny thing is Roman, how did she get them to get along? I can just see the big Squatch black. Screw you, Mize. No. Potsquatches aren't bullies. But no, that's, hey, how are they working together? Are they making a good team, buddy? It's like Romeo and Juliet, but grow lights, We are Montague and Capulet. Oh, tasty. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm just drinking a little bit of red wine for the show today. Typically, these days, I don't really drink Monday to Friday. And even on the weekends when I do have some drinks, I'm not drinking that much. Getting back in shape, getting back in fight shape so we can get out there. And I don't know. If we were to want to take a fight, we would be able to. There you go, 705. Beautiful. I mean, I actually got a bunch of hash over there. I could have done a hash bowl with you, right? But, yeah, funnily enough, actually, Eddie Evans, the funny thing about bongs is they don't screw with my head like joints do. I could do bongs all day in the show, and I'll be okay. It's just those joints, man. It's something about it. I don't know. It's I love joints, but it made me all Whereas, you hit the bong, it should be more of a shotgun to the head, you think. But no, I'm cool, man. Hell, I can smoke literally hash continuously out of a bong and be all right. He's such a naughty Texas Squatch. My goodness gracious me. What's up, Jason Houlihan? How you doing? No, hell yeah, Roman. No, 100%. Is mine brighter? Is mine brighter than theirs, Roman? Is it brighter than theirs? Christopher Thomas, no, not one planned currently. I'm getting ready for. I mean, in a perfect world, I could get to fight Dinklenuts Jake Paul. Logan Paul, found out Uncle Potsquatch is, coming out of retirement from fighting to fight him actually first. He was the first one I wanted to fight, and he's recently quit fighting, so he got scared because he actually made that announcement about a week after. No, I do not actually think that Logan Paul quit fighting because I'm coming after him. But how cool would that be, though, right? It was just sheer beautiful synchronicity and whimsicality of the universe. I guess I'll settle for Jake Paul. Jake Paul and I are about the same size. He fights cruiserweight. I typically like to fight a little bit bigger than that, but I could fight cruiserweight. I could go down to 199. Or maybe he can come up and meet me at 225. All right. Anyway, but yes, one of the things it started as a joke of the show about doing some fights, exhibition matches to raise some money, to start trying to raise money for both getting the TV show going as well as buying farmland for the farm. So, and I was an underground cage fighter for 6 years. I fought 167 fights and never lost a one. There was once upon a time I was really good at bringing it. And it's like, I'm not that old. I'm not that old yet. I still got a few dances in me, I think, And so I've been working really hard with Gregory Allen Reed, getting back in shape. Big shout out to Greg A. Reed for standing by Uncle Potsquatch and helping him get up in shape and learn so much about how to properly work out and build proper strength and physique in my body. I've been learning a shitload. The man knows physique. Man knows your body and how to make it do things and learn and get healthier and training your muscles and building the right types of muscles for true strength rather than just being like, look at me, I go to the gym and I lift weights. Anyway, I don't have any preconceived notions at all now. But anyway, it's been going really well. So, when will this fight happen? Who bloody knows? But at the end of the day, when the fight does happen, I'm making sure I'm ready for that. I will also share, too, that I have 100% quit smoking tobacco, everybody. I have bought one of those little electronic-y things. I bought the Voopoo Argus Pro. Not gonna lie to you, I struggle feeling like a weird little hipster kid with this thing sometimes, but I haven't had tobacco in over a day, and it's like, I'm doing all right. It's all right, Tastes like green apple and pears, I guess. He's better than tobacco, I guess. Yes, Jason Houlihan, there's a lot of things that I want to breed or play with. In terms of... Hell yeah, dude. Brandon Rossman, most definitely, my friend. Brandon, like I said to everybody in the show, if you'd like to contact me and have a chat sometime, whether you're just a person, another channel, a company, I don't care, whoever you are, I'm always open to that, and usually I could fit it into my schedule fairly quickly. Just send me an email to potsquatch420@gmail.com. That's POTSQUATCH420. That's POTSQUATCH420@gmail.com. And you will be good. I'll type that for you. I'm sure Ganjanan will probably beat my ass to it, but I'm going to try it. Boom. Ha-ha! There we go. I win. But I'm happy to give you a shout, whether it's through a digital video, or through an actual physical phone call. I do those. It freaks people out, I know, but I actually quite like them. But yeah, no, happy to talk to anybody and always collaborate on stuff. This year is one of the things I'm also really looking forward to is collaborating. There's another question. It was Jason Houlihan saying, what do you want to breed? In terms of right now, if I get a good orange Hindu Kush male, one of the things I want to do right now is I'm going to take anything and everything somewhat cushy in my collection, try to pop it, and do an initial F1 basic production of beans to play with, of the initial crossings, just to have some base works of things that are cushy to play with. But if there's something that I really want to play with, I have a OG train wreck in my collection. And I love train wreck, and I love a true OG. And Gazzers, in his collection of something he has, that's actually one of his own creations, to my understanding, is Trainwreck by Master Kush. Now, think about if those two planks meet and fold. All right? That's right. OG Trainwreck by Trainwreck Master. A double tap of Trainwreck. Who knows where those Trainwrecks came from, right? But as long as they're in a similar variation family, that could be fun. Maybe one's older than the other. New generation, old generation Trainwreck meeting. Oh, and let's throw in some Master Kush and OG Kush in there too. I mean, that'd be a lot of fun. So I'm just waiting on Gath producing some seeds because he was almost out of them. It was an experiment or a production he had done years ago, and he brought it back recently, but he didn't really have any more beans of it when he brought it back. So he's got some beans doing out and going for me, and he's gonna send those in for me to play with. So we're gonna make those Trainwreck OG or Trainwreck Master play. Make those plants have a sexy time. That one I'm looking forward to. I think it will be very sexy. Right? Return to the Mac. Hindu Kush is one of my favorite things. So the Hindu Kush that we have in there is an orange Hindu Kush. And originally I'd wanted it to cross it with the Hindu Kush that we had been running on the channel a bunch. But you know what? I cleaned house. And sometimes it's what you got to do to get on top of bugs and then just stop bringing in clones from people. So that's what we did. But I do actually have 2 or 3 different Hindus in my collection. One of them actually came, I believe, from Red Claws, if I'm remembering correctly. So, who knows? Maybe if we get that, maybe I can, pull out a couple of those Hindus as well and then cross it with that. Another thing that I have, actually, that would be really fun to cross something with. I don't really want to cross it quite yet until... if I can get a male of it, it would be great. But, always assume you have females. Males are the harder staple to come by often, even with regular genetics in this day and age, it seems. I blame the improper production of seeds over the last bajillion years, but aka 15 or 20. But I've got this Master Kush, that's a lie. I've got a Northern Lights crossed by Pink Kush. That I think would be really fun. Pink Kush is more of a finicky Kush. It is very popular, and when done right is great, but it is on the finickier side in retrospect when you're comparing it to some other Kushes out there. But Northern Lights, though, is such a dependable, powerful, stable, and hardy plant that I think if we could then cross that back with a more stabilized Kush, we could really make a mirroring of all the beautiful worlds there while still keeping some of the beautiful elements to the Pink Kush that we love, while then not having this finickiness and really dialing it in. So that's another thing I'd love to play with too, right? Like I'm always thinking about hypotheticals, right? That's part of the fun, and that's why we collect seeds and we think about stuff and everyone's so protective now, and it's like back in the day, like true breeders and true growers, like we used to trade shit. And then even before my time, like the good old days, over in Europe and Cali and BC, and growers didn't necessarily, like there was professional competition, but we would all meet up and we would share and we would trade genetics, and that was part of it. So that's something I'd love to bring back. As a mentality, why are we against each other so hard all the time? Why do we got to be fighting each other all the time? I don't think we need to. I think we actually really need to stand together and work together. That makes a hell of a lot of bloody sense to me. Now, well, maybe I'm just crazy. Well, I'm crazy, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Now let's see what I've missed in terms of things here. Bear with me. Oh, come on, phone. Don't do me like that. Come on, phone. There we go. Oh, yeah, no, I feel you, 705. 1 second here. Well, actually, 705 grower, it may make you very happy to know that, one, I have most of those that you just listed in that train, or the Master, the OG, the Bubba, the White Widows. I don't actually have a true White Widow anymore. I've got Canadian White Russian. White Widow and White Rhino are two things I want to bring back into our genetic stores that I don't currently have. Pilgor and I were supposed to talk about that. I don't know if he's here right now. Pilgor, I still want to talk about that. But anyway, what I do have, the OG, okay? I've got some very old beans of both regular beans of hash plant as well as what is called skunk number one. It's still in a breeder pack from almost 30 years ago. It's so old that it's one of the few times I've ever seen a breeder pack still intact from these days. But yeah, skunk number one and hash plant. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath on the skunk number one. I'm going to grow it out. And if it hits right, then boom, it is it. But I do believe in the hash plant though. And I love hash plant. Hash plant was one of the greatest strains ever. I ran it actually on the channel a while back, and I still miss it to this day. It was a true heirloom genetic of truth, and it was a smell, a taste, a hit, and everything just onto its own. I mean, it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to bringing back and playing with as well, for everybody. So it's not lost for the future generations of growers, you know. One second here, everybody. I'm playing catch up. Well, there you go. That sounds fun, Jason. Brandon Rossman, who's really into, I wouldn't say he's doing it in a traditional tea manner in a sense. It's essentially like an OG tea, but we're not using bubblers or this or that, and it sits for months. Is actually, Gazzers is really into hardcore organics. Everything Gazzers does over in New Zealand there is hardcore organic, and it's quite interesting. Bear with me. Oh, hell yeah, 705. 100%. What part of Canada you in, my friend? I will take a look, dank knowledge. Scion Genetics. And also, dank knowledge, if you're, maybe shoot me that link or shoot me that on the Instagram so I don't forget, because I can be forgetful at times. 1 second here. I'm almost caught up. The funny thing is, though, 705 grower, hash plant wasn't brown. The problem with hash plant is a lot of people back in the day cured it in this weird way in the light, actually, which caused it to go brown. A true hash plant is actually a bright, light, super light, bright green, almost like a nice light lemon lime neon-y almost kind of a green. Because the sort of, so anyway, I've never been someone who could ever bring myself to cure something in the light, but so very commonly though, hash plant was cured in the light by certain growers and groups back in the hood days, because it did change certain terp profiles. I personally feel it made it weaker, because light does denature cannabinoids, right? Like, that's a proven fact, as well as terpenes and flavonoids. But it did turn into this interesting thing, though, for sure. But that was actually one of the weird ways certain groups of growers were tempering and curing it back in the day. It's one that still gives me nightmares when I think about it, but, I'm pretty sure that aphids lay their eggs not in soil but on the plant themselves, but I could be incorrect on that. My brain is having problems pulling up the aphids, because I had actually never dealt with aphids up until those clones that came in recently on the last run that had some aphids, and then I just killed them off right quick. Like, I killed them with some Jakes. Jakes did a few times. The aphids were gone after 3 applications of Jakes all in one. The thrips were a different story. And so I'm vastly more intimate in terms of their life cycles here. I could probably pull it up right now. We could talk about the life cycle, but yeah. Yes, Ganjanani or Mama Gazzers is a Kiwi. He is from the New Zealand way. Hell yeah, this old stoner. How they looking? So Israel Wells, remember that, you know, it's going to be leaching out for some time when you're using back guano. If you're using it as a top dress, on a top dress too, I would actually get it wet. I would make a paste. I would then mix that in with some topsoil dirt just to help facilitate the initial thing. If you're running like an 8 or a 9 week strain, like more of a indica dominant, like I definitely get that in there week 6 or 7. For that last final push there on that one. That would be my suggestion on that. Maybe 6. Do a heavy application at 6. Now, if they're going longer than that, that would be different. But I typically am growing myself indicas and Kushes, so I like to speak to that window. But pretty much 2 or 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out. That's kind of what I would say. Oh, no, it is. Van Island Beauty, 100%. Testing new experiments, new techniques, it can be very nerve-wracking. And so don't ever feel bad about, like, being stressed about that, because that's the true reality. I stress myself out all the bloody time. But I'm furthering my knowledge. So in the end, once I learn, once I know, it is better. Yeah, right, Ganja Don, your mama? No, legit. Well, yeah, and Van Island Beauty, in my memory of it, that's typically how they do propagate is by embedding their eggs into the leaves. The one good thing is an aphid's replication rate is a little bit slower in terms of the laying of the eggs. So you can actually get on top of aphids indoors fairly quickly, as long as it's not like a horrible infestation and they're in a localized area. You can get on top of them fairly quickly. But you got to, again, stay dedicated on that and on top of that to really pull that one off. All right. Making sure this is set properly. Yeah, there we go. So what's everyone else growing right now? I mean, everyone, I think, knows what I'm growing. I'm growing the Cape Town Kush, the Cape Town by Cheese, the Cape Town by AK-47, the Orange Hindu Kush, Chilean Rift, Tangata Cross by Canadian White Russian, and a one singular Rockstar Kush plant. What are you all growing? It happens, Texas Squatch. I've been there. That's where I typically don't name my plants as much. I might name 1 or 2, then it's easier to remember. But I always remember the voice I invent for them. And no, that's totally true, 705 grower. If they're small enough and you could do that, 100% you could do that. One of the things I would recommend doing, especially if it hasn't fully adjusted and filled out your soil medium in the pot, make sure you wet down the pot a little bit when you flip it over there. Then you're not going to go losing a bunch of chunks out of it as easily. But yeah, you could totally dip the whole plant, 100%, as long as you're in veg. I would not recommend that during flower, my friends. But yeah, during veg, you're safe. You're good to go. Hell yeah, Texas Squatch. And Return of the Max says, I'm growing a Royal Cookies. Nice. And a Super Silver. So one's Super Silver is a photo, and the Royal Cookies is an auto. Beautiful. Right, 705? Exactly. But yeah, no, totally. Hell yeah. Sorry, everybody, I'm just reading here. Sounds good, Brandon. Peace and love, Brandon Rossman. We'll talk soon. So fully auto TV, great question. Yes. The answer is yes, obviously, to that in basic sense. I also am a big believer that slightly more mature plants typically will often produce slightly sweeter, more developed flower or weed ditties. But at the same time, it doesn't mean not doing that. You can't do well as well. Like on this one here, we're running a bunch of plants. We're keeping them small. We're flipping it fairly soon. And we'll still produce some crazy fire.
But I don't know. The older plants that have had their times and trained out seem to just, one, obviously, they're bigger. So they have more nodal sites. They produce more flower. When properly lollipop, manicured, and trained, you can maximize and dial that out and in. But I've also always felt, though, too, that the slightly more mature plant, produces slightly better tasting, slightly better smelling, slightly stronger weed. But, I mean, have I ever tested that? No. It's just my observation. Could it be psychosomatic? I doubt it because I've got a very good nose. But it will produce more though because it's just by inherent nature, it is bigger, it is more developed, it has a greater root ball, it has a greater ability to pull in what it needs to do a lot of work, if that makes sense. So, yes, but yeah, everything I just said. Oh, man. Ooh, nice. Girl Scout cookies, GG4, Amnesia Lemon, and Z Skittles, says Family Outcast. Very nice. Hell yeah. Well, this old stoner though, I mean, that's part of the fun though too. Like there's nothing wrong with just learning, right? And just getting into it. And I'm assuming you've had a successful run so far where you've harvested a plant, you've pulled it down, and you've smoked it, like dried it, cured it, smoked it. It's fun, isn't it? Isn't it? I think it's fun. I love it. Also, by the way, I hope that answers your question, Fully Auto TV. And Fully Auto TV, if you ever have any questions to further an answer I give you, feel free to ask. That's totally cool, totally copacetic. Okay, so good. Secondary question to that one, Fully Auto TV. So there is no rule of thumb necessarily on that in terms of there's some other questions you need to address before you then answer how much am I going to veg my plant? How big is your grow space? How much light do you have? How much light coverage do you have? Two different things. What is your height of the grow space is another big one. What size pots do you have? What size willingness of pots do you need to have? So it depends on a lot of variables, really. But typically, to grow a nice big plant indoors, trained out, if you got a shitload of room, yeah, veg for 2 or 3 months, and then flip that lady. But during those 2 or 3 months of veg, we're doing some hardcore training and a bunch of other stuff as well to stay on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I hope that helps. But you can give me more information and I'll pop out and answer. Like, hell yeah, this old stoner. But see, look, you're having marked improvement every run, my friend. That's awesome. And hey, if you're into those gummies, man, I mean, I'm glad you can make them yourself now. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. It's fun learning and playing around and being successful, though, isn't it? Right? Hell yeah. Yeah, they're the functioning alcoholics Van Island of the aphid infestation. Oh, exactly, Jason Houlihan. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's the way to go. And there's just something beautiful, everybody, about actually, in fact, producing your own medicine, loving your own medicine, and doing it yourself. Like, it feels so satisfying, whether we're going from a clone or a seed. You know, they both started as babies, and we take it throughout its life as its parent, and then we go and we do it slowly but surely. And watching that whole run from seed to weed or clone to weed, finishing it, curing it, smoking our own shit, it's got to be one of the most rewarding, enjoyable experiences of all time, in my humble 2 cents. Gotta be honest with you. I mean, it really is. You know, Oh, hell yeah, 705. I mean, one of the things that I'm looking forward to playing with eventually is I've got these African land race genetics that I got from Caden at District Records there. And supposedly they come out with like a hardcore super strawberry smell and feel. Really beautiful, quite crystally. It's a sat, obviously. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that one goes. And they get pretty crystally though, but super, super strawberry based profile. I haven't grown them yet. I've just been told that it has this huge strawberry profile. Israel Wells, 2 to 3 weeks out from the end. I would err on the side of caution and go closer to 3. Oh, I feel you, dank knowledge, 100%. Unique terpenes and actually interesting, because taste and smell really for me are the number one things. Closely followed by, obviously, production, right? Like how much do we produce? Also with density, I don't want loose buds. I like dense buds. Even if it's a sat, it better have a decent amount of density to it, or else I'm not going to grow it. Flower structure is a big thing for me. A lot of these new age flower structures that are these weird foxtaily kind of things, build them. Yeah, they look pretty. They're super dank and triked out, but just because something's super triked out doesn't actually mean it's strong. And like I've smoked a lot of weeds where, it's super high THC even, but it doesn't really get you that high though. It's really weird. That's why I love heirloom genetics, beautiful plant flower structures, beautiful density, and it's still epic at potency, even if it's not something that's like, ooh, it's a 35, blah, 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 etc., right? So the obsession that exists right now with this super high THC saturation content is just it's just silly and stupid in my humble 2 cents. So yeah, but like taste and flavor for me is two of the two biggest real things. Followed very closely by all of those other things that I said though. But what's up, Canadian bacon? What's crack-a-lackin'? Yeah, welcome to the hood, by the way, little nugs. What's happening? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, my fellow Squatch. Everybody who's new here, welcome. This is my first time ever using a e-cigarette on the show. I quit tobacco. I'm tobaccoless now. And I got my little toucan so I could be a little hipster now. Look, everybody, I'm like a hipster now. I'm so cool. Sorry, everybody. I find myself amusing. If I was a true hipster, there we go. If I was a true hipster, I would not be running that at only 20 watts. I'd be hitting it at like 70 to 80 watts. But 20 watts is more than enough for me. I'm not a vapor. I'm a cigar smoker replacing cigars. Hell yeah, no, I feel you. Fully auto TV. Given what you're talking about, maybe shoot me an email sometime. I'll give you a shout on the phone. I'm happy to give you my humble 2 cents and share my thoughts with you with a bit of information in terms of what your space is going to be, what your plant numbers are going to be like. I will tell you how to maximize it. That's what I did for a long time. I came from the other side of the tracks. I wasn't always a legal grower, and I understand maximizing a space very, very well. And so I'm happy to give you my humble 2 cents on it, just as food for thought, and then you can incorporate it or not into your stuff. But yeah, if you like that, I'd be down. Dude, Texas Squatch, that's dope. I hope to God you've kept that into a humidor. Well, I quit cigarettes 3 or 4 months ago. I've been smoking cigars instead. But I got rid of those. Like I'm still gonna have the odd nice cigar because I quite enjoy cigars. I also have the odd tobacco pipe because I like my pipe. But you know that'll be like a couple times a month maybe at maximum. I'm trying to be tobacco free and it's the way to be. But I'm still doing my little nicotine, what you call it. But I don't know. So far, I mean, it tastes like weird candy, but I mean, it's you know, I haven't killed anybody yet, and I don't feel like I mean the physical habitual thing of like smoking that, but like I'm in a good mood, not nicking out, not mad or cranky or grumpy. So hey, it's doing something. There we go. It's changing the setting on how it's firing. I like this A and P setting, firing both ways. I don't actually understand what that means, but it seems to work good. I'm just reading everyone's stuff. Sorry, everybody. Hey, little Nugs, say hi to the weed titties, my friend, and we will talk soon, my friend. Say hello to the plants for me, all right? All right. Dude, that's cool, Texas Squatch, that it was actually kept alive, though, that long. That's pretty cool, buddy. Rock and roll. So Canadian bacon, we went over this earlier in the show. I'm waiting for a new powered hub so I can wire a second camera that's coming out or that's in the flowering room. So during the shows from here, I can show you the grow. So no, not today. I am waiting for the powered hub. I hope it shows up soon. But that is a new toy that's coming. So then we can wire in a second 4K webcam, which is what we're on here in the grow space there, and then run that back so we can show you that. Sorry, everybody. I laughed at Van Allen Beauty's thing he said. Yeah, no, Susan loves me. Yeah, no, I feel you, fully auto TV. If you're talking about the one that I built, or wait, or if you mean carbonated water, that's just always amazing. But if you're talking about the weird CO2 excreter thing I made years ago, I've very much changed and updated that design. I've never made a video on it, which, you know, come to think of it, maybe I should. Note to self. But, you know, yeah, 1 second, everybody. Don't worry, I don't gotta go far. I'm still right here. Just gonna have another little smidge of wine. That's right, I drink box of wine. It's not even the finest box of wine. I'm cultured enough. I don't need to supplement. Screw it, the red. And hey, Canadian bacon, I enjoy showing my room. That's one of the things we've struggled with the show is kind of doing both the studio set and then also the set there in there. So we will be doing both. We're working towards it, my friend, okay? You just got to be a little bit patient with me, and it'll be all right. Yeah, no, it could be probably like, yeah, I think so, either a power post or some weird. There's a lot of ice. I'm assuming over there, Van Allen Beauty on the island there, it's got a lot of ice and snow too. Could be that. It's gonna be all right, Van Allen. That's right. Worst case scenario, we gotta get you. You gotta get yourself a little backup generator. You know. Hey, Roman Reckless, you tell your mom I drink box of wine exclusively. Well, pretty much exclusively, unless someone else is buying it. So you could tell her and Uncle Potsquatch got something in common there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, me too, Canadian bacon. Me too, my friend. Well, Roman Reckless, I'm a beer guy too, and I do drink beer, but what I have in house right now, that's a lie. I actually have some beer upstairs too, but red wine, given that it's higher in antioxidants, it's a healthier option for me to drink, and I can drink a couple of glasses of red wine and feel great. But then, if I go to beer, then like before I know it, I've put 15 to 24 beers away, and the amount of sugar in that is astonishing, and it kind of defeats part of my trying to get back in shape. So I'm trying to make more healthy decisions within the realms of unhealth, I guess you could say. But it's a weekend, baby. So I have a few drinks on the weekend, and then Monday to Friday, I'm just doing my training, eating properly. I eat properly on the weekend too, but I enjoy some drinking. I had a beautiful breakfast of eggs and fried taro root this morning. It was good. Well, I mean, actually, Van Island Beauty, speaking of wireless electricity, that was actually one of the dreams of the original Nikola Tesla, was to bring an electromagnetic field online that would provide not only electricity to everybody, but free electricity. That was one of the dreams. And it's actually doable, I think. I think it's doable if we actually wanted to, help people. But sadly, we live in a world of greedy corporations. And if you can't make money off something, they don't want to put money into development, right? So that's one of the things I think, if we ever become a huge company, I'm going to be swinging my dick around at the other people in terms of tech development. It's like we got to shift how we work as a world. And will it work? We will see. I don't know. Jake Luck, Gaia Green is a great nutrient line for sure. There's a lot of people that I know and even here that quite like it. The one thing to remember with Gaia Green products is I have noticed an inherent ease for nutrient deficiency to accidentally sneak in with that. So you really got to stay on top of dialing in your use of their products. Where if you're using something like that isn't necessarily an organic, but using a pre-bottled nutrient system, myself, I'm a fan of Green Planet. That's my happy place. And actually, some of their products are organic, actually. But at the end of the day, that's the one thing to be aware of with utilizing those products. You really got to, don't be afraid to be generous, but at the same time, learn what your plans are. So don't necessarily go right for it. And it can be a little finickier to dial in, but it is doable. So it is great. It is great. But, that's just one thing to be aware of, though, when using those. Christopher Thomas, a photoregular plant can vegetate indefinitely. The oldest mother plant I've ever met was roughly, give or take, 40 years old. The oldest mother plant I've ever personally possessed was over 20. That was one that was gifted to me many moons ago. No longer exists. But the oldest one I've ever met was roughly, give or take, 40 years old. So, but in basic theory, yeah, indefinitely, as long as there's no issues, pathogenic blow-ups, bugs, etc., blah, 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 reasons to euthanize, or it dies, or blah, 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 blah. If you take care of it properly, in theory, in simple, basic essence, indefinitely. Hell yeah, Eddie Evans. Congratulations, my friend. There was times in my life where I drank far too much. I mean, I still, even now in my healthy world, I still drink a bit. But that's sort of my happy place, and I've dialed it in where I'm happy, like a weed plant. But I'm really proud of you, Eddie. Good job, my friend. I got a lot of friends who the only way for them to really exist was to live the sober lifestyle. And you know what? They're better off for it and killing it and kicking ass and taking names. So I'm proud of you, buddy. Much love, dude. Hey, thank you very much, Jake Luck. I've been doing this a long time. I've been growing a long time. I'm always learning, always expanding my knowledges, always playing around with new experiments. But the number one real reason why I started doing any of what we do now was to try to make growing more accessible, to try to make learning a little bit easier. Because even when I started teaching myself as a kid, there was still, even back then, so much misinformation, let alone now. And it made it very hard to begin to get some basic successful grows under your belt, which is kind of a real requirement to become a grower and to become a lover of learning and growing, And so at the end of the day, what I'm saying? It was a passion piece really for me when we started. It still is. And I really appreciate your kind words. I'm honored to help, my friend, and I hope you're growing big, giant ass, beautiful weed titties. Detroit Shroom Thith. Just entered week 8 flower. Managed to get a whole grow with Happy Frog soil. Never used any synthetic water with my well water. Okay, it was around 370 ppm. Relatively high. 6.9 to 7.9. Ooh, shit. Fading starting at day 40ish. Interesting. That sounds like a fun experiment, Detroit. I dig it, man. I dig it. Hey, no worries, man. I really mean that, Eddie Evans. Ooh. Alvin Mace with the heavy hitting question. I love it. Alvin Mace, everyone, has said, if you had only one choice growing one plant, which one would it be? So basically, it's like one type of weed titties for the rest of my life. Hash plant. Yeah. No, I guess that's actually not as hard. A true hash plant. Hell, I can give you a few different ones that, like, even if I didn't get to pick, and it was one of these few plants, I'd be okay with it. Hash plant would definitely be one of them. To quote another old school strain that I'm really, really, truly into. Oh, no, she was finicky. Sorry, I'm just going through my head and debating right now. Hash plant was easy. Now picking more is hard. We'll give it to Northern Lights. Some of the Burmese Kushes out there are pretty amazing too. I could be happy in a Burmese Kush world. And I'll give you a new age strain too that I was quite happy with and impressed by, even though it was a new age strain. And that would be King's Kush. I was very impressed by that strain. For a new age strain, it was killer. Killer. But that's a fucking Alvin Mace with the question, right? Like, that was an epic question, bud. And good question, too. I dig it. One second, everybody. I'm reading. Yeah, no, brain teasers is good, Alvin. I enjoy having to think, but is not my mind but a muscle in and of itself? If it does not have to work, if it does not have to think, then I will lose my ability to do so. As we age, we lose neurons, so the ones who decide to stick around and not tell me to go fuck myself, well, we should put them through the ringer, shouldn't we? Right? Hello. Yeah, no, I like those ones, man, you know what I'm saying? No, 100% there, Alvin Mace. I like that. I like that a lot. Jake Look says, what was the best strain? I'm going to assume you mean like that I've ever grown. Okay, I need another further ask for that question. What to you constitutes the best? I need do you want me to tell you the tastiest thing I've ever grown? Do you want to know the most resilient thing I've ever grown? Do you want to know the highest producing thing I've ever grown? So give me a little bit more information and I can pick that. What's up, Know You Grow? Cheers to you as well. Ganjadana, your mama. That is a very good question. If you mean my ice dancing TikTok video where I danced in the snow, I'm not going to lie to you. By the end of that video, my feet really hurt after shooting that. It was numb, painful. I could barely feel my feet. Put my boots back on when I went inside. It took at least a solid hour and a half before my hands and feet stopped vibrating. They were only probably cold for about 10, 12 minutes. But then the weird nerve sensations of doing what I did definitely were around for quite some time, Ganjana, your mama. So it sucked trying to get those rubber boots on after I shot that video. Josh Howell. I mean, if it's a naturally occurring herm that hermed naturally, it is not necessarily the most desirable, quote unquote, feminized pollen. No feminized pollen is desirable in my humble 2 cents. I would say if you're going to knock something up with it, knock something up that hasn't hermed. And still bear in mind though that it will have a greater proclivity to herming on you. So keep an eye on those genetics as they grow out. Oh, Roman Reckless with a question that I don't even think has an answer. What's the best Kush? I don't think there is an answer to that. But if I had to pick, it's not a Kush that would be like known by any strains of anywhere. It was actually this strain, and I saw it exist in a number of different ways from these guys. So like probably closer to on the line of 10 phenotypes. And it's something that we didn't really have a real name for. We called it Chush or Chinese Kush. The guys who grew it were from China, lived here, grew it here, but they didn't really speak English. Like we only spoke money, like we could communicate that way. But like they had this Kush though that they would produce, and I saw a number of different phenotypes, probably closer to 10 over the years of this shit from these guys. And the Chush was just something truly in and of itself special. The flavor, the spice, the funk. Oh my God. She was, and I never grew it. Like I just was a consumer of it, but probably the Kush that I would remember the most and would say was just the most prolific experience. And every pheno was this way. Like every pheno was in this weird category of beauty. Was this stuff, and like we could never figure out what it was. It was unlike anything we'd ever grown, any of us, anyone I ever showed it to. But it was great. It was the Chush, the fucking Chush. I haven't had Chush in years. I don't think those guys are around anymore. So, but yeah, back in the day, it was the thing. But good question, Roman. Good bloody question though. One second here, everybody. I'm just playing catch up now because I've been talking about or reading older questions and shit. I know. I've had a true Durban poison many moons ago, and it is very much its own funk as well. Don't do what again, Ganja? What? What happened? I'm confused. Oh, fuck. I hope you're okay, Know Your Girl, by the way. Yeah, so Jake Luck, like I was sharing earlier, we will have the ability to show the plants soon in terms of the show. I am, as I can afford to, bringing in new toys to try to upgrade our game and how we do it through the Streamlabs and stuff, okay? So we'll have that very soon. Actually, one thing that's pretty cool is I can actually get a wired hub that I can use. Oh, thank you very much, Roman Reckless. I really appreciate that. It really does help. And all these little bits help me to be able to bring in these new toys I'm talking about to help all the stuff, upgrading our show. But there's this wireless hub and I can get these cameras, and there's actually one I found online that actually had a handheld wireless. And so obviously wireless is never going to be as good as hardwire, but we can kind of go through and maybe actually pull this off as long as it's fairly close to each other. I'm pretty sure this hub's ability, you hardwire the hub into the computer, and then as long as we're not going too far, it should be able to quite accurately communicate with the cameras. So that'll be fun. So we'll get there soon. And don't worry, Jake. In all the update videos, I'm going to bring back some more of the old school humor of Potsquatch, making the plants do voices and shit. We're gonna do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Well, okay. So for those of you talking about the voices that I do, who wants to hear something that's really exciting? It may not turn into anything, or it could totally change my career, actually. And I got to take a big moment and humbly, again, for the second time on the show, shout out to Greg A. Reed, and thank you for backing me up. Greg decided he had a close contact who, she is in fact one of the biggest voiceover agents in all of America. She's been in the industry over 40 years. We're talking the OG Mama Death of Yes, and she's one of the biggest names in terms of voiceover agents. Owns her own company down out of LA. But it doesn't matter whether you're in New York, Vegas, or LA. Everybody knows this woman. Her name's Arlene. And Greg went and vouched for me. And for being a Canadian, we don't really usually often get the chance to be seen or even talk to big-time producers or agents or filmmakers in the States as Canadians. I mean, it's very rare and far and few between. But so Greg went and vouched to this woman. They've been friends for a very long time for me. And she was willing to hear my demos. So I've actually sent off all my demos about a week ago. The teams received them. They're going over them. And then I'm hoping in the next week or two, they're going to set up a meeting and maybe they might want to, represent me and help me get my game going. Whether we're doing movie commercials we'll see what happens, right? It'll be good. And it's something that's very exciting for me because even if it doesn't work out to anything, it's the chance that Canadians don't really get almost ever. And I'm very excited about that. So again, thank you, Greg. And that's just like a personal piece of, personal life stuff that could be really cool. Ooh, Jake Luck, what's the best strain for outside in Southern Ontario? You're going to want something that's fairly quick. You're going to want something that can handle high-intensity light. You're going to want something that can handle high humidity, that's mold-resistant. And something that doesn't have necessarily a huge, long window like a hardcore sat. So anything in the indica variety world of stability is going to be good. Hey, if Northern Lights, for example, can handle the relative humidity in general, or the humidity here in BC with the crazy rains during our summer and kind of transitional seasons, I would say it would be able to handle the high humidity index of Ontario in southwestern Ontario, is where I'm from. I was born in Burlington, grew up in London. It's really mold resistant too, which is going to be a good thing. But at the same time, like outdoors with the high intensity sun that you can get in southwestern Ontario, you're going to bloody crank it in terms of production too. So yeah, I would go to like a classic Northern Lights if you had an ability to get your hands on it. They would kill. With the longer season also of Ontario, even though I'm not normally one to run autos, but if you're just looking to produce stuff for your personal use and you're okay with running autos, I would say double tap on an auto season. You could get away with it. You could do a double run. Oh, thank you very much, Eddie Evans. Thank you, because it really does help us keep the lights on here. And really hugely appreciate that, my friends. Thank you so much. Humbly, thank you. One second here, everybody. I'm trying to read now. Oh, Eugene Dolan, you'll be extremely successful doing that way. Just remember that some of the soil will be stripped a bit in terms of your garden veggies. So whether if you want to amend with some amendments or just mix in some of your own shit, or then you could just use the same bottle nutrients that you use on your weed titty plants, right? Like a lot of my neighbors, like in Hope here, there's not crazy sun, even though I live in the sunny part of Hope. A lot of people, I'm really good at tomatoes. Tomato plants are very similar to cannabis, they're cousins. I don't even really cut off the suckers either. And this year was kind of a smaller production. I only did like 900 to 1,000 tomatoes off 6 plants. But I've had years where I've done, a few thousand. And all these places have been, kind of here, 40 minutes down the road. There's not tons of light. And my neighbors are like, how the hell are you doing this? How are you growing this kind of tomatoes? You're like, you must be out here cutting off all the suckers. I'm like, no, go look at the plants. I'm not cutting. I've barely defoliated these things. I just pretend they're weed. And I feed them when I feed my weed and just go from there. But, I love growing me some tomatoes. I'm not even sure why I'm talking about that. Oh, the old school Eugene Dolan. Because so then, just remember, though, that you may have stripped out some of the actual inherent nutrition. So just stay on top of that, and you'll be successful. Right? There you go, Texas Squatch. A lot. See, people hear what they hear in terms of my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, hey, no worries, Jake. All's good in the hood, son. Yo, what's up, Mr. Manny D? How you doing, my friend? How's the life treating you? I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing well. So 705 grower, jarring tomatoes is actually harder than you'd think. And so I've never actually done that. I've researched doing it. I've talked to all the old ladies that I know who know how to preserve things properly. And every single one were like, yeah, it's harder. It's kind of hard to do, but it's doable. So typically, though, with my tomatoes is I make shitloads of tomato sauce. I love tomato basic base pasta sauce or tomato based sauce, and then I can use it for building into other things, and it's great to have on hand. So I basically typically, I mean, I eat a number of sandwiches with it too. I like that, but I produce sauce and then freeze it, and I keep that for the year. This year I ran out fairly quickly, but I was on a bit of a tomato sauce binge for a few months there, so it happens. Okay, good. So Eugene Dolan, if you're doing that, you should totally be fine. Hell yeah, Manny dude. One second here, everybody. I'm just reading. Yeah, so 705. I mean, I'm just making sauces out of that shit. I make sauces. I'll often make big batches of salsa too out of it. Like making a fresh salsa, something I've always loved doing it. I mean, yeah, I'm a honky, but I'll make some decent salsa for a white man. It's not Mexico, but it's fucking pretty good though. So like hell, even my Latino friends love it. They're all like, damn, not bad for a honky. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, baby, right? It's all about the flavor, not being afraid of it. But so like often I'll make a lot of salsa. I don't typically store that for long term. Salsa I typically give away, to a lot of people. Who doesn't like a fresh salsa, right? So I like to give away a lot of stuff that I grow too, especially if I'm growing stuff that's I've got way too much money. Whoa, money, what? Thank you, Fingers. See, who saw that? They're like, what? More things. This is the craziest show ever. I've never had this happen before. Everyone, I just got to say I humbly am honored and very thankful, and thank you so much for all the bloody donations this show. Holy shit, this has never happened before. This is pretty bloody epic. Wait till I go tell my wife. You won't believe what happened today. Anyway, sorry. As much as I'm making a joke out of that, I'm very touched and trying not to tear up because it's very beautiful, and thank you. What was I saying? A lot of the stuff I grow, if I can't eat it before it goes bad, I either give it away or make it into something. Hell yeah, right? I mean, who doesn't like a tomato sandwich? Hey, thank you very much, Fingers 420 Luke Long. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me, man. Oh, hell yeah, Jason Houlihan. Like, when I'm making my salsa, I'm juicing me some beauty limes. And if I could only get shitty limes, well, then I'm juicing a lot of them. Peace and love to you as well, not given. Hell yeah, my friend. Oh, well, I mean, there could be people here who haven't even seen them yet, so I'm just going to share them again. And if you're all here and you've all already seen these links, I'm just really proud of my little videos. I'm actually going to be releasing another one tomorrow, too, so it'll be funny. Oops. These are, I made a TikTok, everybody, and I finally started making videos that don't get banned by TikTok because I'm just making weird comedy videos. So I'm going to share with you the first 2 videos I've made on the TikTok. And, yeah, there's going to be the third video coming out tomorrow, everybody. They're not long. I think the first one was like 47 seconds. I think the second one's like 56 seconds. Bit of information on the second video though that you might find interesting or funny. Is that's actually the CRA hold music. The CRA is kind of like the part of the government which is money in Canada. So it's like if you call the government, you got to talk about money, and they put you ass on hold, which they always do. You know, you got to listen to this song. So I did a little fun thing to the song, and it's called Rustles of Spring. When you see the video, it'll be even funnier when you know that the song is actually called Rustles of Spring. But yeah, we got another video coming out tomorrow, and it'll be just short and stupid. But so far, I feel the first two videos we made have been pretty fucking funny. And I think y'all enjoy the one tomorrow too. I think tomorrow when you see it, you're gonna be like, damn, that's actually really fucking funny. And if you don't, that's cool, baby. I think it's funny, so. All right, fine. I gotta put some more weed in the bong, though. 1 second. All right. I mean, there's still a bit of weed in there, man. There's still a bit of weed in there. I should put some more weed in there, though. Put some more weed in there. 1 second. I gotta put some more weed in there. All right. My God, so demanding. Okay, 1 second there. So demanding. Here we go. Here's some weed in there, you know. Oop. There we go. You see it? Oop. There we go. All right. I'll smoke some drugs. God, peer pressure much, guys? Hello. What do you think this is? The marijuana channel? Oh, yeah. As you were. Sorry, I think I'm funny. All right, let's smoke this one. We'll smoke this one to all of you as well. All right, let's do it. Wasn't ready. Not bad, isn't it, one? So this one's for all you peer pressurers out there. Oh, there she is. There we go. Well then, Return to the Mac. I'll do one more just for you. Return to the Mac, buddy. This one's for you. Return to the Mac for the return of his weed tomorrow. Oh, yeah. There we go. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. Not given. That one's some. That's some Hindu Kush. That one. That's the Hindu Kush from the last run there, my friend. Oh, what's up? The Quiet Witch. You have not been to the show in a while, girl. What's up? Welcome to the show. Tell Ivan I say hi. All right. Okay, I'll do one more for the Quiet Witch. Fuck. All right. This is for you, Sarah, the Quiet Witch. All right. There you go, Sarah. No more. I need a break for a moment. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now, if we didn't think I'd grab me by the boo-boo by number 2, number 4 definitely got us there. Oh, shit. All right. Well, this jar's some of the smalls there. There's only smalls in this one. The jar of the tops is over there, but I don't even know if you're going to be able to pick this up on the camera. Wait, I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. I have an idea. This is not working. Wait a minute. Focus. Oh yeah, you got it. No. This is a lot harder than it looks. Well, I did the best that I could, everybody. Oh, yeah. You're making me smoke again? Okay, last time. Jesus Christ. Last time, fingers. Hey, Return to the Mac. If I was really punishing you, I'd pull out the other jars. I wouldn't show you the other thing sitting on my desk. Okay, gotta give me a second though. Give me a second, Fingers 420, Luke. Okay, I'll do another one. Just gotta give me a second. What the fuck? I mean, what the shoot? Bob Saget's dead? Yo. Is Bob Saget actually dead though? Can someone well, I guess I could do it on my phone. I'm Googling it now. Bob Saget dead? Question mark. Bob Daggett is dead at 65. Found in Orlando hotel room. Came out from Fox 35 Orlando 27 minutes ago. TV line 10 minutes ago. Full House star dead. Rolling Stone 4 minutes ago. I think this is legitimate. Everybody, Bob Saget, the dad from Full House, and arguably one of the dirtiest, weirdest stand-up comedians of all time, is dead. Holy shit. Yeah, TMZ was one of the first online with anything. So their articles from 39 minutes ago beating everyone else's news outlet. TMZ, by the way, wow, good job, Your Honor. 5:03 p.m., the Orange County Sheriff's Office says Bob's death appears to be a mystery to them because they say, so far, there's no signs of anything fishy in the case that would raise any red flags. OCSO says, on arrival, deputies located a man who was unresponsive in a hotel room. The man, identified as Robert Lane Saget, was pronounced deceased on the scene. We have no information on the cause of death, and the detective has found no signs of foul play or drug use in this case. This is all the information we have for the release at this time, and we do not anticipate further updates. Shit. Damn. Okay, everybody. Fucking Bob Saget. We're gonna here's a Bob before we do a toke for Bob Saget, everybody. Okay? And I'm gonna take my toque off for this. Bob Saget, okay, bloody hell. It was which movie was it? Don't no one tell me. I can do this. It was not Half Baked. And I'm pretty sure it's the scene where he's trying to go to like a Narcotics Anonymous meeting or something like that for trying to quit weed because his girlfriend hates weed, and it's Dave Chappelle's character, and Bob Saget's there. It's like, yo man, like I used to suck dick for crack. You ever suck dick for a fucking bag of weed? And like, yeah, so that was Bob Saget, that movie. Epic stoner film. Bob Saget's little cameo was actually quite funny. Damn. First, I drink to Bob Saget. Now, my Potsquatches, we smoke to Bob Saget. Bob Saget, you literally recently just died. We don't know whether it was hours ago or minutes ago, but wherever you are, Bob Saget, the Potsquatch Growers armies, we are here. We will smoke to you, those of us who can. And the ones who cannot right now will when they can. Rest in peace, you fucking crazy man. I say that with respect. To Bob Saget, everybody. To Bob Saget. May you rest in peace, you crazy animal. Actually, Tony, that might be a thing, actually. I mean, they said there was no foul play or drugs involved, but that does not mean it could not have been that. I always imagine Bob Saget was probably pretty fucking kinky behind the scenes. You never know. Maybe he accidentally pulled the belt too hard. Is it too soon to make that joke? Yeah, we're making it anyway. Bob Saget would approve. He was a twisted animal. And the dad from Full House. Yeah, let's do a moment of silence for Bob Saget. We could do that. Starting now. Okay, we're going to start it again. We're going to do it for a minute. Okay. And go. And that completes 1 minute of silence in honor of Bob Saget. And to finish it, I will say, no, Bob Saget, I have never sucked no dick for a bag of weed. As we were talking about before, the moment of silence, half baked, etc., etc. Great scene. Check it out. You ain't seen that, you smoke weed, you should go check it out. I mean, yeah, but it was, I'm pretty sure they said it was, where was the hotel? Oh, Orange County, never mind. I had a joke for it, but not if it's from Orange County. It's not as funny. All right, everybody. I can't do any more bongs for Bob. I did like 5 or 6 in a row on the show. I did one for Bob. Everyone at home, you can keep bonging for Bob. He would be proud, I think. It is a weird, we've been, like, I would say that's weird, isn't it? We've had a great show. I mean, it's been a beautiful show, right? You know, longer show. I mean, if I had ended the show when we normally would have, which is about an hour and a half usually, you know, but it was a good show, so we kept going, you know. In a weird way, I think it's appropriate that we kept going because, well, we got to make some dirty jokes for Bob Saget. You know? Both the dad from Full House and an extremely nasty comedian. I remember the first time, for me, when I realized that, you know, growing up, because, you know, I watched Full House as a kid. I'm not that old. And when Bob Saget, and you find out when you're growing up, is like this dirty comedian, man. You're like, whoa, I was not expecting that from the dad from Full House. It's amazing, right? Like, so, Bob Saget, what a legend. Family man on a family show, as well as a totally diverse, out there, dirty comedian. I mean, that's astonishing to me in my humble 2 cents, Dancing those two worlds successfully as a professional. Very impressive in my humble 2 cents. Good job, Bob. Don't worry about that, 705. I'm still a curmudgeon, and I still normally spend most of my time in my house. I'll still be here, my friends. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I will always be the Potsquatch. I'm far too stubborn and happy with my habits now. Says the guy who just even quit tobacco. So, we're getting healthy and happy and shit. But don't you worry about that. If I ever have a real career, you never have to worry about that. Well, I mean, being Potsquatch is real, obviously. But I mean, in terms of that shit. But don't worry about that. I will always be here. Oh, yeah. Eugene Dolan. Some epically dirty bits. Well, my friends, I think it's actually a sad way to end the show, but a beautiful one. Bob Saget. A family man. A nasty, perverted comedian. Played both roles beautifully. And, motherfucker dead. 65. At least he made it to 2022. But, it's a sad way to end the show. But hey, Bob Saget would be like, fuck it, have a big old smoke, have a drink, make a dirty joke about me, choking myself with a belt or something. And so anyway, my friends, my family, in the name of Bob Saget, go on, be merry, maybe make a dirty joke. And remember, the true grower is a forever student. The true grower makes educated, stupid decisions. The true grower is not afraid to take risks. Love yourselves. Love those around you. You thought it ended now, but I'm actually going to say some other stuff. I'm changing it up. So, soon we will be streaming on all social media platforms that we can figure out how. We almost did it today, but there's still some more computer Medora things I need to do. I guess. We will figure that out. But, get ready to the fact that we're probably going to go into flower fairly soon. So stay tuned for that. Lots of update videos and all how-to videos there. All right. Check out Potsquatch Lighting Systems. You want to grow like Squatch? You want to help support this channel? Check out our lighting brand. It's fixable, upgradable, affordable, built out of the best shit, and we stand by our shit. We are growers, building lights for growers. Check out the website when it's up at the end of the month. It's not up yet. We're building a brand new one for the CBD line and all the swag shit. Check that out. I'm really proud of this website. I think it's going to look really, really good and be very user-friendly. It'll be like the first time we look legitimate. It's going to be so nice. Shout out to Denver Luna. And check out the Potsquatch Growers community on Facebook. You want to come hang out with people? If you are on the Facebook, come chill with us there. Answer the questions. It makes it a lot easier to accept you into the group if you just answer the questions. Be respectful people. You'll be good. Have some fun. Learn some shit. We have a Discord too. There's someone on who has the Discord link. If you could share that would be very nice. Whoever's sharing this, there is the links there. But my friends, my family, it's going to be a good time. And thank you for joining me in the show today. Thank you for helping me to stand in solidarity with the passing and the memory of the Bob Saget. Crazy bastard. What a way to end the show. Peace and love, everybody. Word to your mother. I'll see you next time. Remember, next show's Wednesday. That's Wednesday at 3 p.m. The only time I change that shit, I will announce that. All right. Peace and love, everybody. Oh, fuck. I've said fuck far too many times. YouTube's going to be mad at me. Oh, no. I just wanted to say, everyone, actually, too, and acknowledge something. This show, holy shoot. Holy ever super duper shooterness. try not to swear too much. I've never had a show where there was just so much love. I feel very strange about it, but like all the memberships and donations and stuff, and it really does actually help me keep these lights on. So really, really humbly thank you to each and every one of you. And the fact is like, I know some of you at home, like, oh, well, I can't do that. You never have to pay for any of this. Remember that your kind words, being part of this community and just participating and having fun and being successful and learning, that for me really at the end of the day is the truest reward. I am just very humbled that, you know, those of you who are in a position that were able to do so, and I've never seen that happen before. It was really weird. Like, not bad weird, by the way. Just, what? I'm going to blush now and feel uncomfortable. I guess, just, yeah, I'm being redundant and repetitive. I blame the 6 bong hits in my heart. I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you very much, you sexy, crazy animals. I love you. Remember, maybe have a drink, have a smoke for Bob Saget. This is probably one of the longer exits to a show I've ever done. I love you. Here's looking at you.